the root, you can regrow that 3 or 4 times and it'll still be good. And that way you have access to a fresh herb. Okay, Internet, it's been about 45 minutes since we last spoke through the magic of editing. And I have my beans fully cooked and my stock ready to be strained. So I'm gonna come over here. I have this bowl and strainer set up, so I'm gonna strain my stock into here. And then I have a setup for the barley risotto that I'm gonna make with the stock. So I'm gonna take my stock off the stove and come over here to my straining setup, and I'm slowly and carefully dumping this out into my strainer because it's very hot. It just came off the stove. Here's all my veggies that have cooked out all their goodness. And this is the stock that I'm left with. It's a nice light colored stock. It's going to be beautiful in the risotto we're about to make. Up next, we're going to strain our beans. So these are the beans that I soaked overnight and then simmered for 45 to 60 minutes until they were soft without salt, because salt would fuck it up. So I'm going to use my same strainer. I'm not going to rinse it because I'm lazy. And so the water that pours off of your beans is called aquafaba, and you can save it. You can kind of see it here. You can save it and treat it the way you would egg whites to make vegan meringues and stuff like that. I'm not that motivated. I'm a plant-based chef and I'm not that motivated. So I'm just 86ing my bean water. But I do have these beautiful white beans to work with now. And they're gonna be a really nice, creamy, and protein and fiber rich addition to my barley risotto. All right, so we're gonna get ready to make our barley risotto. I have some garlic. I buy the pre-peeled kind because I'm a garbage person. You can use fresh, obviously. So I'm going to slice this because I want a little bit of texture in here. So again, I'm using my pinch grip where I have my pointer finger on my dominant hand on one side of the blade and my thumb on the other. And I'm using that to guide my blade as I slice. And I've got my two cloves of garlic. So I'm just gonna do some nice thin slices because the flavor of garlic changes depending on the way that you cut it. So for this application, I want to get like a nice toasty golden flavor. So I'm going for thinly sliced garlic. So my garlic kind of looks like this, you know, the way you would see it at an Italian restaurant. That's what I want. I want that toasty garlic flavor. So this is what I'm gonna start my risotto with. Okay, so now we're ready to get our risotto started. And as you know, I said barley risotto. So I have my pot, I'm heating it up with some oil, and then I'm gonna throw my garlic in. So risotto actually refers to the style of cooking, the method, instead of the grain. So like I know we say risotto rice a lot, that's arborio rice. It's a starchier grain than a regular rice, and that's why we use it for risotto, because as you cook it slowly and continue to stir, which is the motion that coaxes out all of the starches, arborio rice has more starch than your average grain, and that's why it works so particularly well for risotto. So I am now throwing my garlic into my oil, and it's all nice and thinly sliced. I'll show you. So there's my garlic in my oil. It's gonna get nice and toasty in there, and it's gonna make a really nice and flavorful base for our risotto. My garlic is starting to get nice and toasty. It's turning light brown. So now I know that it's time to add my barley. Barley is a really hearty grain. I'm gonna add about a cup here, and that's gonna yield me about 4 cups of finished product. So barley is a really nice hearty grain. It grows in a lot of different climates, and I love to use it in the wintertime, especially because it has that hearty nuttiness. So since I've added that to my pot, I'm taking my stock now and I'm putting it in one ladleful at a time. If it makes that sound, your heat is up too high, so you have to turn it down. So I love the nuttiness of barley. I think it pairs really well with bright flavors. So something acidic, something herbaceous. I love putting pesto on my barley. It also works really nice in the wintertime as a soup. Mushroom barley soup is super popular. It's high in fiber, it's super filling. So if you're trying to stretch your dollar, barley is a good buy for you. You can, if you're more advanced, you can pop your barley, you can mill it into flour. Really, the possibilities are endless, as with most grains. So I'm putting this in ladleful by ladleful, and I'll grab the phone and show you what that looks like. So this is my barley right now. So my garlic got a little bit browner than I wanted, but that's okay because it's nice and toasty. So you'll know that you're ready to add your next addition of liquid when you can pull the spoon like this and see the bottom of the pot. So I'm going to go over here to my stock, get my ladle full, bring it over to my pot, and just keep stirring. And we're going to keep cooking it like this until the barley has absorbed all of the liquid that it's going to absorb. I usually do 3 parts liquid to 1 part barley. So, and risotto, you're going to go a little bit over that because the stirring motion is coaxing out all of the starches in your barley, or in whatever grain you're using, or seed. You can make risotto with quinoa too, which is a seed. So you're just going to keep doing this for a while until all this liquid is gone. This is probably going to be about 45 minutes. Alright, internet, I'm about halfway through with my barley risotto. So you can see the barley is looking much plumper than the dry barley that I threw in here. And I've been adding my stock 1 ladleful at a time and stirring continuously after each addition of stock. The stirring is what makes risotto risotto. That's what coaxes all of the starch out of your grains and turns them into creamy goodness. I'll check back in when this is closer to the end, because we're not going to finish it the way that you would finish a traditional risotto either. Okay, so our barley risotto is almost finished, so I'm going to show you how we're going to finish it. Like I said, this isn't going to get finished like a traditional risotto. We're going to do a plant-based risotto because that's what I have on hand. I'm not vegan, but I primarily stock my pantry with vegan essentials. So I have a lemon here that I'm just rolling on my cutting board to loosen up the membrane so we get a little more juice when we cut into it. And I'm cutting that in half, again using my pinch grip and my dull knife. And the pinch grip is so you have that added support as you cut through. So we're going to finish our risotto with lemon juice and a little bit of miso. This is a miso soup base, which I don't normally use, but the last time I went to the store, miso was sold out. So that's what I have. It's miso with a little bit of mushroom extract and seaweed extract in it. If you can get regular miso, I would say use that. But if this is all you can find, that's fine. And I'm saving my scallion ends. So I'm just gonna shove these in some water, and that will give the roots enough nutrients to regrow scallions 3 or 4 times. So I'm always gonna have scallions. Now scallions, unlike leeks, you can use the white parts and the green parts. A lot of people only use the white and throw the green away. That's so wasteful. There's so much flavor here. Your white part has a more allium-y flavor. This is an allium. All onions, garlic, etc. are alliums. So the white part is going to be a little bit stronger than the green part. So I'm going to throw the white part in our risotto right before it's finished so it kind of cooks a little bit. And I'm going to save the green part as garnish. So for this one, again, I'm using my bear claw, so I'm guiding with my knuckles. I'm using the pinch grip on my knife, and I'm just going through. I'm letting my knife do a lot of the work for me, so it's kind of sliding, and I'm going from tip to tail every time I cut. So the tip of my knife is doing most of the work, and then I'm gliding the end through to finish it and make sure that everything is cut through. And I'm slicing my scallions on a bias just because I like the way it looks. Alright, so now my barley is fully cooked. See, it's pretty dry, but still really creamy. Just gonna give it a quick stir because I added a little bit of black pepper. I'm just gonna make sure that's all incorporated. So now I have my lemon. I'm just gonna squeeze that in. I'm squeezing it through my fingers so I can catch any seeds that might be in there. You can use a fork to do this if you want to make sure that you're getting every last drop of lemony goodness. I usually just go in with my fingers, but I don't have any cuts on my fingers right now, so it doesn't hurt. That's something you always want to watch out for. If you don't know if you have a cut on your finger, you will after doing that. And I'm also going to use my miso base. So this one is not a traditional miso. It's a miso soup base, which means it has a little bit of seaweed, it's got a little bit of rice wine in it, it's got a little bit of mushroom extract. None of that stuff is in regular miso. I usually buy miso concentrate, but I couldn't find any in the store, so this is what I ended up with. So now that I finally got it open, I'm just gonna do a little dollop. If I was using regular white miso, I would add about a tablespoon along with that half a lemon's worth of juice that I added. So the reason that I'm finishing with lemon juice and miso instead of Parmesan and butter is twofold. Like I said, I'm doing this all plant-based because that's what I have. So the miso is in there to add that like aged funky flavor that you would get with Parmesan cheese. And the lemon both emulates the brightness that you would get with cheese, like that nice acidity. Adding citrus is a really nice addition that will allow you to add less salt. It elevates the dish and brightens it without adding that extra sodium. So if that's something you're concerned about, using lemon juice, lime juice, any kind of citrus is a really great trick. And I find that the combination of lemon and miso together really gives it a Parmesan cheese flavor. So the last step to this risotto is I'm gonna take my white beans that we cooked earlier and I'm gonna add those in. So in addition to the creaminess that we have from cooking our barley risotto style, we're gonna have this additional creaminess from these slightly overcooked white beans. And I intentionally overcooked them because I knew that this was what I wanted to do. So that's going to give us a little bit of extra creaminess. And then I'm going to throw in most, but not all, of my scallions to give this some color. So that way we have like this nice, vibrant, verdant, still super creamy and rich meal. If you have some green veggies, throw them into this. Like peas would be really nice, asparagus would be really nice. Top it with a nice herb salad, take some arugula, toss it with lemon juice and olive oil and salt, put that on top. The possibilities are really endless. This is a very basic pantry dish that you can make whenever. It's fairly low effort, you just have to stand in front of the stove for an hour. But it's super easy and it's really good for you. It's full of fiber, it's full of protein, and you made it all with shelf-stable ingredients. So good job, you!